Hello everyone and welcome back to Agent Nagash, channel dedicated to Sigmar, and in this video we're going to be returning back to the MAGGOTKIN of Nurgle in their final video looking at their battalions. And of course this is going to be their demon battalions, and it's also going to be the Rotbringer battalion. So we're going to start with the demon ones. There are a few for each, and then there is a big battalion for each of them. So we're going to smash through them and see what we got. So the first one we're going to look at is the Talons of Nurgle. Now this is quite a big one, but it is more than manageable to put into an army. So the organisation, you have 0 to 1 Great Unclean One, 1 to 3 heroes chosen from the following list: Poxbringer, Herald of Nurgle, Sloppy Piper, Herald of Nurgle, Sloppy Scrivener, Herald of Nurgle. And then you also have 4 to 7 units chosen in any combination from the following list: Plague Bearers and Plague Drones. And then you can have 0 to 3 units chosen in any combination from the following list: Beasts of Nurgle and Nurglings. So it sounds like a lot, however, realistically all you need in here is 1 hero and 4 units chosen from Plague Bearers and Plague Drones. So you can make this as small as you like, and you can make it as big as you like, really, because you have 1 Great Unclean One, 2 more heroes in it, 3 more extra units of Plague Bearers or Plague Drones, and up to 3 units of either Beasts of Nurgle or Nurglings, where you can mix them. And then when we move on to the abilities, there are 2. The first one is Droning Masses. So at the start of your hero phase, each unit in this battalion heals 1 wound that has been allocated to it. For units of Plague Bearers, return D3 slain models to each unit instead. See, now that is pretty good, because it means that obviously, you know, Plague Bearers who wouldn't be benefiting at all from this are now actually getting D3 models back, and it now starts to feel like a Legion of Nagash army being near a gravesite. Okay, and then the next ability we've got is Diseased and Pestilent Personifyed. So if the number of Plague Bearers units plus the number of Plague Drone units in this battalion at the start of the battle is 7, you receive 1 extra contagion point in each of your hero phases. So nothing major, but something useful, and certainly it's going to add towards something a bit more later into the game. But that does mean that you have to take 7 units of a mixture of Plague Bearers and Plague Drones, so you have to take the maximum, and not a single unit from that can be wiped out for you to benefit from that, but you'll get it for a turn, maybe, something like that. So it's useful, but that's not the main reason you take this battalion, I would personally say so. So how much is this battalion going to cost you? So I get all this information from the Battletone. However, I'm going to have to go onto the Warhammer community site now, just because this Battletone has came out just a little while ago, and I don't want to give you guys incorrect information. So if you hear a couple of clicks, it is me simply going on to the site just to find out the latest points values we have got for this Nurgle battalion. And something a little bit interesting about this, when you just go on the War Scroll builder for Age of Sigmar, it's the nice thing is, if you don't have the latest general handbook and you can't find out what point swings are, because for example the app for Age of Sigmar, if you got the free version, you don't get the points for it. So if you want to actually go and find out the points for free, you can go onto the website, go onto the community site, and then go onto War Scroll Builder, which is just something a bit useful. I thought I'd tell you guys while I'm finding what this one is. And it's a nice, well, it's a cheap free way to do it. So anyway, going back to this. So this battalion's going to cost you 220 points. It's an expensive battalion. Is it worth it? You know, Nurgle is one of those armies that has so much in it. There's so many different buffs and stuff you can get by just taking certain characters. That 220 points, it's a lot. And is it worth it? For some certain builds, maybe, but I think probably not. I'll tell you what, it's very useful if you're taking a lot of Plague Bearers. That's what I'm going to say. If you're going heavy on Plague Bearers, this is going to be useful for you to bring back those D3 slain models to which unit. It's going to be very good, because you don't have to roll for that, it's just you get it. That's the main reason I say you take this, and you get an artifact, of course. So yes, it's good for that reason. Okay, and then moving on to our next one, which is going to be another demon one. And this is going to be the Fristfold and Foulmnar. And you guys may be aware this is the one that actually has 3 Great Unclean Ones. So of course this can be the named character, Great Unclean One as well, because he has got the keyword. And then it can be 2 normal ones, or it can be sort of any mixture you like, or it can be basically 3 normal ones. But anyway, let's see what this does. So firstly, the Fristfold and Foulmnar is going to cost you 120 points. So a very, 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 very cheap battalion in comparison. 100 points less than the last one. And this obviously if you want to go monster heavy, and it can actually work. So let's have a look at the abilities. We've got 2 abilities here. So the first one is Hungry for the Play God's Praise. So reroll hit rolls of 1 from models from this battalion while they are within 14 inches or another model from this battalion. In addition, reroll wound rolls of 1 for models from this battalion while they are within 14 inches of 2 other models from this battalion. So you have to be within 14 inches of each other. However, these bases are massive and it's not wholly within 14 inches, so pretty damn easy as long as one of these ones doesn't die. And bear in mind how hard it is to kill Great Unclean One. It's not impossible, but you have to put a lot of effort into it. Like last time I killed a Great Unclean One was purely just a hand to dust it to death, so it doesn't really count. So I think this is particularly good, and these guys are a bit of a beast in combat, as you wouldn't be surprised to hear. And then the next one we've got is Plague Storm of Nurgle. So if a model from this battalion successfully casts the Plague Wind spell when it is within 7 inches of another model from this battalion, then the number of mortal wounds inflicted by the spell is increased from D3 to 2D3. If the caster is within 7 inches of 2 other models from this battalion, then the number of mortal wounds inflicted by the spell is increased to 3d3 instead. Okay, so that's just made the thing mega powerful. And again, we're in 7 inches, so you are getting shorter now. However, you do not need both of the models to be alive. You know, both of the other 2 models that you're relying on the spell for. And they don't need to be alive. And it makes this spell 3 times as powerful if they are both alive and within 7 inches. You see this just sort of move around as a unit. But then again, it's pretty effective. And like I've said to you guys before, I do like Elite Army. So if I was going Nurgle, I would go Tamkin Horde, which I've already got. But I would also go the Blight Lords as well, which are like the Blight Kings on the Plague Drones. However, if I was going Demons, I'd just take a lot of Great Unclean Ones. That's the way I'd go. And that's why this I find to be quite fun. So yes, that is that one. And then the next battalion for the Demons of Nurgle. And this is the last of the smaller battalions. This is going to be Nurgle's Menace. It's not called Nurgle's Menace, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. So let us have a look, shall we? So, the organisation. It's got 1 Hortulus Slimux, so this is the guy on this snail, as you remember. 3 units of Beasts of Nurgle. Up to 3 units chosen in any combination from the following list. Plague Drones, Beasts of Nurgle, and Nurglings. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I mean, it's got a Hortulus Slimux in it, so is he worth it? He's not. Again, I'm going to say he's not bad. I've already obviously reviewed all these units before. You're more than welcome to check them in the previous videos. But what I would say is quite cool that there's a named character in here. It makes it a bit more, feels a bit more, you know, lore friendly or just a bit more narrative based, what I personally do like. And then it's got, you know, a collection of all the monsters basically within Nurgle, even though they are all sort of monstrous. It's got all the lovely creatures of this garden. So, the first ability out of 2 is Assistant Gardener. So Hortulus Slimux can use his Cultivating the Garden of Nurgle ability in each of your hero phases instead of only once per battle. In addition, when he does so, the Affliction Cyst can be set up within 3 inches of any units from this battalion instead of being set up within 3 inches of Hortulus Slimux. So that's cool. Obviously, if you want to, you know, look further into that ability and stuff, you're more welcome to rewatch, you know, my video I did of Hortulus Slimux in the, you know, demon video. However, yep, that's nice. Anything to change something from a once per game ability to once every turn, but I don't know if I can remember that lets them set up one of those things. So that's a lot of those trees, and those trees will generate more quotation points for you. So it's just a happy endless cycle of life, if you like. And if we know Nurgle, he would be very happy about that. So a good ability there. And the next ability is Utterly Revolting Horde. And this is subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of enemy units while they are within 14 inches of 7 or more models from this battalion. So not even, you know, units, so it's like really hard models, pretty easy to do. Subtracting 1 from the bravery of the enemy. Some ways you can build bravery bombs that we've already talked about, so it's just another thing you can do. Okay, so there's that one, and that one is going to cost you 240 points. So it's quite expensive. You're basically paying that not for the bravery debuff, you're paying that to get those trees. It really depends on how much you want to summon. If you want to go for a very heavy summoning list, this could be a good option for you, because it gets you your trees and it gets you those contagion points, and it also gives you that ability to be able to make those fast movements. Additionally though, if you don't really want to go with Beasts of Nurgle, Nurglings, then maybe this one isn't for you. But you know, everyone has a different taste and different opinions. Okay, so now that we looked at the shall we call the reasonable battalions you can actually take in 2,000 point army. Let's look at the one that is going to be a struggle to fit. So this is going to be the Maleficent Wanderers, I believe it's pronounced, and the Maleficent Wanderers is going to cost you 100 points, so very cheap, but you have to put multiple battalions into it, so it's going to not be so cheap in the end. Right, so the organisation. So the Maleficent Wanderers, such I can't pronounce that word, must contain the following. One Great Unclean One, which is going to be called From Bollocks, the Given. 2 Talons of Nurgle. And then the Maleficent Wanderers may also include 0 to 5 additional Talons of Nurgle. And then any number of additional Nurgle demon units. Okay, so any demon units can be in this from Nurgle, basically, is what it's saying. But already you're going to struggle to put this in 2,000 point list. Not saying you can't, but you can definitely put this in 2,000 point list, if I do my maths quickly. But you're only just going to do it, and it's going to be at a very tight squeeze if it is possible. So, the abilities, you only get one. This is infested with foul gifts. In the rampant disease stage of the cycle of corruption, enemy units that are affected by the rampant disease that are within 40 inches of a unit from this battalion suffer D6 mortal wounds instead of D3 mortal wounds. In addition, if Frombrooks the Given is on the battlefield, so remember that as your Great Unclean One from this battalion, in the rampant disease stage of the cycle of the corruption, then D6 enemy units are affected by the rampant disease instead of D3 units. Okay, so that does sound really, really good. I really like that ability. A lot more wounds you're doing to the enemy. However, you're playing over 2,000 points pretty much by this. If you want to have a competitive army, you're playing over 2,000 points to fit this battalion in my personal opinion. So it's good, but as soon as you start playing over 2,000 points, then I could have, I don't know, 5 zombie dragons, which is really, really powerful. Oh, I don't know, 6 terror guys. You know, it goes a bit on silly, doesn't it? But no, it's okay. It's not one of those battalions that's like, it's going to cost like 7,000 points. You're only going to use it once in a lifetime, maybe. You know, you could fit this into games. Okay, so with that, we're then going to move on to our Rotbringer battalions. So again, similar to the Demons of Nurgle, there's going to be 3 normal battalions and then 1 big one. So the first one we're going to look at of the normal battalions is going to be the Plague Cyst. So Plague Cyst consists of the following units. 1 Lord of Plagues, 3 to 6 units of Putrid Blight Kings, and then a 0 to 1 Sorceress or 0 to 1 Harbingers of Decay. So the abilities you get 2. Master of Slaughter, reroll all failed hit rolls for units from this battalion that are affected by Wanton Slaughter ability. This battalion's Lord of Plagues instead of only rerolling hit rolls of 1. Anything that increases rerolls from hit rolls of 1 to all failed hit rolls is massive. Generally, there's so many ways for the enemy to make you minuses to hit and whatnot, it just really, really helps that. And also, the other thing is it just guarantees getting those hits through, which can be absolutely infuriating. Like, even if you're hitting on freeze, and then you roll, and you just get, it's just so annoying, isn't it? So yeah, I like that. And then the next one is Horribly Contagious. In your hero phase, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches of any units from this battalion. On a 6, that unit being rolled for suffers D3 mortal wounds. Right, that's good, but you need 6s. May go off, may not go off. But if you do get it off, D3 mortal wounds, so don't rely on it, basically. You're taking this to have the Master of Slaughter ability, which isn't amazing, but it's okay. And this Plague Cyst is going to cost you 200 points. I mean, the good thing with this, if like I say, you can always rewatch my videos and watch them to try and find out. I do deep reviews basically about each unit in the armies that I review. But if we have a look to see what the guy's ability is, the Lord of Plagues, and see how it's going to benefit the units in this quickly, because like I say, that's the main reason why you would take this. So, his ability, Wanton Slaughter, reroll failed hit rolls of 1 for friendly Putrid Blight King units while they are within 7 inches of this model. Right, okay, and then why this is very good, and obviously very popular why people take the Blight Kings, is because of their blighted weapons, which each time make a hit roll of a 6+ for this unit. It generates D6 hits instead of 1. So you can see the nice little tie in there, and why the Plague Cyst is going to cost you 200 points purely for that part of it. Yeah, really, really good ability. If you're taking a lot off, Those Blight Kings, take the Plague Cyst. Just take it. There you go. Enough said, really, in my honest opinion. Right, okay, and then moving on to the next one is going to be the Blight Cyst. So do not get these confused. The Blight Cyst, again, is going to cost you 200 points, so the same as the last one. Now, what does it do? So you have 1 Lord of Blights, 3 to 6 units of Future Blight Kings, 0 to 1 Sorcerer, and 0 to 1 Harbinger of Decay. So a bit of flexibility of what you want to take and what you don't want to take. Then the abilities, we actually have 3 here. The first one is Endless Bounty. So the Magnificent Bounty ability of this battalion's a Lord of Blights infects all units from this battalion that are within 3 inches of him at the start of your shooting phase instead of only 1 unit. Okay, so having a look at the Endless Bounty, again, I'm just going to remind myself of what that is because there's so many units I've reviewed from this army since. Like I say, you are welcome to check those videos out and stuff for more in depth, but this I'm just actually going to look to see what that ability is. So the Lord of Blight, so the bounty ability, so at the start of your shooting phase, pick 1 friendly Future Blight King unit within 3 inches of this model. That unit can shoot in the shooting phase using its bounty death heads, missile weapons shown above. So I imagine that just means that unit can fire it once, not every model can fire it. So if you have a look at it, so all your Blight King units can do it. That's alright, not amazing. That's what I'm going to say. How I read it anyway. The next ability is Supremely Blighted Weapons. The Blighted Weapons by Future Blight Kings in the battalion have a rend of -1. Yep, I like that. That's my favourite ability so far for it. And then Blight on the Landscape. In this combat phase, enemy units do not receive any benefits from being in cover against attacks made by this battalion. I mean, that's good if you're playing against Deep King on turn 1. Because they obviously, everything's in cover. Now that's not going to be the case, which I do like. I say the Master from Ren is good. I would say this is very good for, Blight Kings again, but if I'm honest with you guys, I'm going to say the Plague Cyst is going to be better for your Blight Kings. And then you take this battalion for Blight Kings, so... But maybe, it's not your cup of tea. Maybe there's something here that you like more than what I just read, but just getting those rerolls to hit is amazing. Okay, so the next... one we're going to look at is going to be the Affliction Cyst, which is the one that I like the look of because it's got lots of those Pusgoyle Blight Lords. So what does it consist of? 1 Lord of Affliction and 3 to 6 units of Pusgoyle Blight Lords, and lovely little creatures. Right, and then 2 abilities here. So the first one, the Droning Sky. So instead of setting up a unit from this battalion on the battlefield, place it to one side and say that it's set up hovering in the skies. You can do this while as many units from this battalion as you wish. At the end of your first movement phase, set up each of these units more than 9 inches away from enemy models. And I was going to say this is very good, but the fact that you have to do it in your first movement phase makes a massive hindrance to it. It's not terrible. Obviously it's good, but having to do it in the first hero phase means your opponent's going to be aware of it, and it's going to be a bit annoying, so not a massive, huge fan of that, if you like. Right, okay, and then the next one is going to be Diseased Onslaught. So, if the Lord of Afflictions from this battalion uses his Spearhead of Contagion command ability, it affects all units from this battalion that are within 14 inches of him instead of only 1 unit. So, it affects all units within 14 inches of him. That's pretty good. Just going to remind myself again what that she does, as I don't want to get it wrong for you guys, obviously. But the thing what I like about this is a lot of these heroes are in these battalions for the Rotbringers. What their ability is, what they gain from it is just basically an advanced version of their command ability, an enhanced version of it, a bonus to it, which I do like. If this model is your general, you can use this ability in your hero phase. If you do so, pick a friendly Pusgoyle Blight Lords unit within 40 inches of this model and add 8 inches to that unit's movement. Character until your next hero phase. Yep, that's amazing. That makes these guys fly not ridiculously fast because it's no, they're a bit slow. I mean, like, they normally move 8 inches, but now they're moving a lot. Well, I consider, to be honest, because Nurgle it looks slow, but it's very fast. Remember, because all the bonuses you're getting through the trees and everything, being able to run in charge and whatnot, and the bell from the Great Unclean One, and the movement from the Wheel Contagion. There's all these other things that add up, but do a really good job to service it, really. So you're plus an 8 inches to their movement, so they are going to be moving 16, which is absolutely massive. In all honesty, like, just ridiculously fast. So yeah, that is the one for the Affliction Cyst. Now, the Affliction Cyst, though, the only problem with it is it is going to cost you 200 points, so it's the same as the other ones. And I would say if you want to be the most competitive, take the Plague Cyst. That's my personal advice I could give you. However, I would take the Affliction Cyst because it's what I prefer in my playstyle and just model-wise and whatnot. So, yeah, they're the 3 battalions. They might say the Blight Cyst is the best one, as I have heard people say that, but for me, I prefer the others personally. Right, okay, then going on to the Blessed Sons, which is the big battalion for them. So the Blessed Sons must contain the following. 1 Plague Cyst that includes a Sorcerer, Harbinger of Decay, and at least 4 units of Putrid Blight Kings. The Blessed Son may also contain a 0 to 6 additional War Scroll battalions chosen from the following list. Plague List of Blight Cyst and Affliction Cyst, any number of additional Rotbringer units. So basically you can have any more Rotbringer units in this. And the thing what I like about this, all you need is 1 Plague Cyst that includes a Sorcerer, Harbinger of Decay, and at least 4 units of Putrid Blight Kings. That's it. That's all you need. So you can put this really easily in a 2,000 point army. So yeah, I do like it. It is going to cost you 100 points. So again, it's pretty cheap, especially for a Mega Battalion. So yeah, I like this because it's actually basically affordable. It's actually something you can put in a 2,000 point army rather than just something you're never going to use. Right, I can go into the abilities. So the first one we got is Swollen with Pride. So units in this battalion do not have to take battle tests while they have 7 or more models. Okay, I like this. Obviously, you need to take big units of Putrid Blight Kings, and if you're doing that, you need at least 4 units of them. And then it does start getting quite expensive. However, not taking battle tests is an absolute blessing, as these guys do not have not the worst bravery, and certainly not the best. And the last ability is Bless a Blight Plate. Reroll save rolls of 1 for models in this battalion. That's nice. Gives them Mystic Shield for everything in the battalion. They don't have to be in range or anything to get that. And again, you need the Plague Cyst. So you can put the Blight Cyst in this, but you need the Plague Cyst. And the Plague Cyst is what I'd be taking if I was taking Future Blight King, so it works out for me. And that is only 100 points. So guys, that is all we've got for this video, looking at the battalions from the Maggotkin of Nurgle battle tome. And of course I have reviewed the ones for Skaven, but I don't think they can be put in here from Pestilence. However, there's quite a few to choose from in there. We have 6 in total to choose from, and then 2 mega ones. 1 for if you're feeling like you're going demons, or you want to take your Rotbringers. So it's all quite fun. There are some battalions in there that are better than others, but the nice thing about those are a few in there that aren't just basically shit and you're never going to use them, like a lot of the Legions and the Nagash battalions. Not saying all of them, but there are definitely a few in there you're not going to use. So it's nice to see that these guys will get them, because this book came out a very similar close time to the Legions and the Nagash. So it's nice to see that these guys have got a few better battalions, shall we say. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts yourself, please let me know down in the comments. On that note, if you could like, subscribe and comment down below if you did enjoy this video, that would be absolutely fantastic and really does support the channel. And this is also the last video of Nurgle for the review. Now, I've been spending a long time reviewing them because things came up in work, and this army has got a lot of things in it to review. So we'll be moving on. So we'll be doing a video soon asking you guys what you want to see next, what army you want me to review next. So you guys will be able to vote on that. And I'm very much looking forward to what you have to say. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I also have a Patreon account where you'll see a link to it in the description down below. Great way for the channel to get some support and all that thing, so you're more than welcome to check that out. And I'd like to thank my patrons on it who give at least $5 a month to me. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. And this is going to be to Max, Simon, and Martin. Thank you very much, guys, for your continued support. It's absolutely great and wonders for the channel. And keep up the good work. And also a thank you to all my other patrons as well, as $1 a month does really help. But if you can't support me on Patreon, that's absolutely fine, guys. I'm just really glad that you came and checked out this channel. Another thing to say is I have actually got an Instagram account now if you want to check that out as well. It wasn't the last video to this, more than welcome. We're starting to post up pictures and stuff, as I've now got a like box. Absolutely awesome. Anyway, I've talked for long enough, guys. So I want to say thank you very much for watching this video. And if you're still listening, it means an absolute pleasure for you guys to watch to the end. And remember, guys, until next time, Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.